going through some of the stuff in my garage. Just wanted to talk about ADHD and how I deal with it as a fisherman, father, and full-time student. And I'm just going through some of those rods and reels and clutter and try and clean, but it could be short-lived. We'll see what happens. Moving forward for this channel, for my social media presence, I'm looking forward to filming a lot more, and I've realized it's something that brings me joy, and the biggest thing for 2025 is finding joy throughout, whether it's spending time with my kids, getting out on the water, fishing tournaments, and I realized that something that brings me joy is documenting stuff for really my own purpose, but also for you guys and for my kids to watch someday in the future. Look forward to kind of documenting my experiences through life, maybe imparting some wisdom on a few of you, and moving forward. So let's get started. This is my main objective, just to plug this little heater in. This. Well, as you can see, my garage is kind of a mess. This is all just random stuff that ends up right here by the door that I just didn't get around to putting away. I wanted to show you guys this, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Monopod? Is it singular? Singular. You stake it into the ground and then you put it up on your tripod, or put your camera on your thing on the top that would be here. But I actually took an extendable arm that is able to do all of the and put a GoPro mount on the top of it, and basically I just screwed it in on both sides, and this extends to about, I think it's like 5.5 feet or something like that. And the reason behind this was one day I was just messing around in here trying to figure out something to make or do, and I realized that this fits pretty securely in one of my rod holders on my kayak, so I can set it up just like this and make a good angle to explore with. So that's that. The desk of death right now. The workbench has all sorts of stuff I've been playing around with, making some baits. Not really getting too far with that. Glide baits, some Japanese baits, GoPros, gloves, mini poles, lights, random baits and hooks on top of other stuff, and saws and baits and crank wraps. Yeah, those things are sweet. This little gem I actually got. It was on the side of the road. The guy who I chatted with, his father had passed away, and they were just clearing out a bunch of stuff that they were not going to use. And so I got this from them, which ended up came with a sweet little shallow diver with these EWG treble hooks on them, on the front and back. I'm really excited to actually throw this, because I bet this bait's probably going to crush. We'll see how it goes. But it came with that. There's one of those, and it came with an entire bottom drawer, for the most part, front half of the drawer, full of MEP spinners. So, inline spinners and one little spinner bait. Nevertheless, look at that band. The band is all crusty. It's going to break the first time it gets bit, but put a swim bait on the back of it and call it good. But nevertheless, this was free $99. These things run like $50 or something like that. I mean, even if it is old and stuff like that, it's still pretty nice. But nevertheless, tool bag, hat, all sorts of stuff, vise, more rods, life jackets for the kids, rod rack full of rods. Everything's here. Oh yeah, and on the ground here, this is pretty much all my soft plastics. I've got a air compressor, or what do you call it? Airbrush set up down there that I just haven't had the time to get out. Kayak parts, you name it, it's here pretty much. And I'm gonna try and go through and get stuff organized, but also kind of just talk about the Arashi Glide, the Storm Glide, and I got it actually signed by Brandon Polinick at one of the shows in Missouri when we lived there. I did have him sign the wrapper, which might be an issue because I like fishing these things. This is one of the baits that I actually hooked into one of the biggest smallmouths I've ever hooked, or I should say strung, because I never saw it until like a week later. I don't know if it was the same fish. Nevertheless, hooked into a really, really strong fish, and it was with the Arashi Glide. But that kind of lives right up there. And then this is actually the Arashi Glide that I used to hook said fish. I've got a crappie crank wrap on this one particularly, which really transforms it from the, I don't know, I forgot the pattern, but nevertheless it transforms it from this to that crappie style, and it makes it a little bit more natural, like fish that actually swim in that body of water, which makes it more likely to get bit. It's a fantastic little color. It looks really, really good in the water. Biggest board, ooh, Cornhole Champ 2024. Back-to-back champ. I've lost that other little trophy, but nevertheless. 4th of July, Grandma does a cornhole. Before I get off topic and start talking about that, clearly ADHD is very strong with this one. Off with this rod actually, it's a Fulcrum Mitchell. I think I established it's a 6-foot medium. This rod I actually found with that tackle box that I just showed you. The rod was free. And this reel it's the Lose Speed Spin Xfinity, which I've had laying around for forever and just haven't had a rod to put it on. Finally got around to it. This rod was free. The reel I've had. I've used it so far. I got it like a month ago, if that. So I really haven't used it that much. I have used it with an inline spinner. I think I put a jerk bait on it or a blade bait at one point, but obviously that fishing by a dam with a blade bait from the bank is very challenging to not get hung up. So that blade bait is at the Algonquin Dam. If anybody comes across a gold blade bait, hit me up, because I would really enjoy that back. Future, I look forward to using that for a Ned rig setup, or just a little skipping Senko setup, something like that. This next one, this rod, I must say that a lot of the rods and reels that I actually own were giveaway wins. So I've won quite a few giveaways on Instagram and Facebook and email stuff, because as a parent of 3 very young kids, money is necessary to keep us alive, not necessarily keep our hopes or hobbies alive. So that being said, I just had to do what I had to do to keep my hobby and dreams alive, to keep pushing forward. This is the Powell rods, naked variety, naked series, and this is their chatterbait rod. Crankbait, chatterbait, jerkbaits. It's a 7-foot, medium heavy, moderate fast action. 1/4 to 1 ounce. This rod with the Z-Man Minimax has just been phenomenal. It's super sensitive, very reactive, and especially with the nice fluorocarbon line, it allows me to just pull those fish up out of the weeds or anything like that getting stuck. It's a powerhouse of a rod that I've played around with so far. Got it paired up with the Blues Laser MG, which has been a fantastic reel. I think they retail around like $150. Give or take, that may be wrong. I don't know. It was a while ago that I bought this reel. FX Stream custom rods. The Extreme Angler Series. It's a 7.4 medium light fast rod. This rod is really, obviously this was given to me. Beggars can't be choosers. But I think in a extra fast with a little softer tip, this rod would be even better for me. I do like having that extra sensitivity up top with the power of the mid-range of the rod itself. Really helped me for detecting bites faster. But this is a drop shot rod for me throughout the year. Mostly doing smallmouth fishing up in Door County. This year, this rod really came into play a lot. This next rod is the Cast King Crixus rod. It is a 7-foot, is that right? 6-foot medium heavy with fast action. I think, again, I would choose an extra fast tip. This reel is the Abu Garcia Black Max. I think I got it for like $25 at a conference show in St. Louis. Let's Go Fishing show. That sounds about right. And it was a good pick. All in all, I think this reel, one thing I have realized, is that when you get hung up, when you go to like do the snap trick, the line tends to break right at the reel all the time. Like I've had it happen 6 or 7 times. Next setup was kind of, it's not the setup that I really want for a topwater. I threw a buzzbait on it just to, I think I was in the moment and just saw that they might be busting on buzzbaits. So I threw it on the only rod I had available at the time. This rod is the Laser HS Speed Stick from Lewis. It is a 610 medium action with a fast tip. And I got it paired up with the Daiwa Tatula. I think this is the 200 HS. The rod has caught me maybe 75% of the fish that I've caught within the past like 2 or 3 years. I love this rod to death. I really like the durability of it. This rod's been through the Mississippi River. It's been all the kayak tournaments I've fished so far, which I mean I only did 2. But as far as outings go, this is a rod that's always on my arsenal for sure. Got it lined up with 50-pound braid just to, specifically this is my topwater reel, not necessarily my topwater rod. I think I had a popper or pop-ar on it prior to the buzzbait, which really worked out better because it's such a light rod. Another rod that I specifically have been using for glide baits, big swim baits, is the Halo HFX series. This one's the heavy variety. Heavy fast, 7'3", heavy action, moderate fast. This has been a really great frog rod. Got it paired up with the Tatula 200H by Daiwa. I've got 15-pound Seaguar red label on there. This rod has been awesome for glide baits. It's just strong enough to host those bigger lures. It says that it's rated for 3/8 to an ounce. I haven't had any issues throwing. I think that's 1.5 ounces for the Arashi Glide. I've also thrown the for you the Spro KGB shad, which was a little bit lighter than the Storm Arashi, which was really great. It's a really good setup for frogging specifically. Even if you get pinned in trees or hung up or anything like that, it's really durable to help in some instances pull your kayak when your paddle falls out of the kayak to your bait to get unhung, and then used as a paddle to get back to your paddle. Very durable, very strong, awesome rod. Being a dad with ADHD has been quite a challenge this year. This year specifically, I've gone through some serious bouts of depression. I've had thoughts of suicide, and which ended up putting me in. I had to go to the hospital and spend a couple days there, just to be under a mental watch, essentially. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to do anything stupid. Gosh, I found it. I've been looking for this spoon for like years. I can't believe I still have it. Look at that. Stop taking stuff out of the boxes. I really don't think I'm going to get as far as I think I am with this, because it's actually, that heater is not doing a thing right now. But one thing I do want to go over also is I actually fished the Roadrunner event for Midwest Kayak Bass Club. One thing that I did do for the Roadrunner event was you had the option to fish 4 different lakes, Bunner Lake, Wolf Burn, Eagle Lake, or Browns Lake. I ended up winning big bass of that tournament, and I caught it on, had a weightless Texas rigged, the Yum Dinger in Watermelon Pearl. Wait a minute. The one thing that I was told about the lake that I was fishing on was that the bass specifically chew on perch. The lake was just full of them, saw them throughout my entire time on the water, whether it was schools of them, saw them on my electronic, I think it's a Garmin 5CV or something like that, or 7CV, one of the two. It's not, I need a side scan so that I can fish more efficiently this next coming year. Hopefully we'll come across enough money to make that happen. If not, if anybody's looking to get rid of something that they don't need that has side scan capabilities, and would feel like donating something, that would be fantastic, because I am in need. Holy cow, I'm getting off topic again. This bait, rigged weightless, on that rod, won me big bass, $255. Super excited to be out there. Actually just talked with a guy who I was so just distraught. Not only that I won, but also my kids and family were here alone, and it's hard for me to be away from them without feeling like I'm deserting them, or just like, I don't know. I'm a dad, true at heart. I really want to be there for every single moment, and it's really hard for me to find moments to do things that I enjoy and love. This year I am focusing on putting my mask on first and making things happen that bring me the most joy without worrying so much about my family. I know they're in good hands. But yeah, that was a great opportunity to get out there and talk with some of the guys, and I was so distraught by the end of it that I left without really hanging out, which I regret looking back at. My hopes for this year is to stick around for everything until everybody leaves, just to build more of a reputable build of character for myself, just to gain more contacts, to make more friends, because that's one thing that I really did not do at all last year, was make friends. I have a few parent friends, but I mean, our kids are friends. We'll go with that, more so than anything else. So moving forward, if anybody's in the northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin area and wants to go kayak fishing, ice fishing, whatever kind of fishing you want to do, let's do it. Let's link up. Either comment below or shoot me a message on Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever it is, Threads, Facebook. You can find me there, shoot me a message, and we'll link up and go do some fishing. Yeah, that being said, I am going to go warm up because it is frigid in this garage. That little heater's not doing shit, which is fine. And just wanted to get on here, really talk about all that, and yeah, let's have an awesome 2025 this year. Let's do some great things, meet some new people. Just recap. Obviously, I didn't get anything done, which is fine. I'm freezing my butt off. Probably because I'm just standing here talking to the camera and not actually moving around. Finding friends to go fish with is really important to me this year. Fishing hard, fishing more, and not just looking at it as, oh, it's a task, I have to do all this work. Figure out how to get out there in the first place. Put the kayak on the car and just go. But instead of looking at it that way, looking at it as, I have an opportunity. I have enough time to go out, cast a line or two, maybe run into a couple fish, and make it happen, instead of the latter. So finding a more positive aspect to make it happen, as opposed to just dwelling on how challenging it's going to be or how tiring it might be. And also another 2025 goal for me is to get in better shape. Obviously not just for fishing, but for my family as well. To continue to be around. I know that health is the ideal part of, is the integral part, that's the word, is to stay healthy for my kids so that I can be here as a father when I'm here. If you guys did make it this far, thank you for watching. A lot of that was very sentimental and very heartfelt towards the end there. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow along for more dad tips coming soon, as well as fishing tips, and I look forward to chatting with you all soon. Thanks.